Good morning, Tiffany. Yeah, good morning. Before we get started, I think it's a good time because we have around 5 minutes. So why don't we go through like a couple of new activity in the department level. So as you can see, a couple of departmental colleagues also receive awards from various places, from China, uh, from around the world. Yeah, these are our senior faculty members. And yeah, we also treasure the opportunity to attend our students' graduation ceremony. That was the most amazing moment. And we'd like to highlight that the department, you can go online to find out the new EE Joint Lab scheme. This is a new scheme that collaborate with industry partners and for driving recruitment for students and also technology event. We collaborate with industry to organize a technology seminar, lab visits for students, and also facilitate R&D commercialization for startup investment opportunities. And among these schemes, you can see that in the department, there are a couple of research area, including antenna, including computer engineering, nanotechnology, photonics. And as far as I know, May, our speaker today, she's working on human computer and psychology domain. And that would be very interesting for us to know more about her. And for this joint lab scheme, you can see the research space, teaching base, organization base, cooperation with industry and also university. So this is some initiative. At the moment, we already formed 10 different joint lab with companies in US, in China, in Hong Kong, and in different part of the world. And we are engaging with different parties to create win-win opportunity for student, university, and also partners. And as a student, I think high school student can take a look at the upcoming events page. So this is, you can see the outreach activity that we have conducted in the department level. So you will see what are the events that we can attend as a high school student. For example, there's a news talking about 6G to 8G. So if you want to know more, you can click the link and watch the video. And there's a EE summer school that we provide like a training for students to know more about STEM education. So I can see the time is almost up. I think we are getting slowly to get started. Anyway, so please take a look at the department website. And I think every time when we have this kind of EE webinar, we're going to introduce more information to our audience so that you can know more about what are the opportunities. Yeah. Anyway, let me come back to the page.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities. Like all the good things happen after I left CityU.
Indeed, we are creating more and more opportunities for our students. Yeah, but we are very happy to see the alumni. You see alumni. So we have an alumni update and distinguished alumni award, and also like a give back. And yeah, we hope to put all these important information like our sharing tonight today on the website later on. Yeah, we're working on that. All right, time's up. This is 9 a.m. Hong Kong time. This is 7 p.m. United States, Texas. Okay, so May is now with us from USA. So we're very happy that May Yao and outstanding CityU department alumni who graduated 5 years before. And in the past 5 years, she's in United States from Georgia Tech, working in Amazon and working in Apple. And currently, she already received her master's degree, working on her PhD degree for a couple of years. And she has a very clear planning for her future. And we would like to know more about her journey so that our student in Hong Kong, as a parent, as a high school student, or even university student, would know and be better planned for the future. So I have a chance to supervise May when she was in City University of London. Okay, and at that time she was doing amazingly good work, publishing research paper. At that time, I remember she's a very extraordinary student. So I would like to know more about her recent journey. So without any further ado, so I'm going to stop my share, and then May can share your screen, please. Thank you, May.
Can you enable the participant screen sharing?
Yes, now should be okay. Thank you.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, so here is an overview of my experience. I went to the City University in the year of 2012 and spent 4 years there. And I got my degree in information engineering. After that, I went to Georgia Tech in the United States for my master's in computer science. After 2 years, I went to University of Texas at Austin. And I'm currently in a PhD program in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. So let's start with CityU. So I actually watched the videos of the previous participants in the CityU EE webinar, and I think I have the most interesting undergraduate life than them. So you can see that I have a lot of experience, a lot of different activities here. So from year 1 to year 3, I was in the CityU Taekwondo team. I think Dr. already know that. Yeah, so I participate in the competitions between many universities. And from year 2 to year 3, I serve as a CityU ambassador, where I really polish my leadership skills and learn how to organize activities. And in year 2 summer, I was in the Pembroke Kings program. So Pembroke Kings program, it's a summer program in the United Kingdom. It is organized by the University of Cambridge. So you can take courses there. It is a small group teaching, beautiful and inspiring academic setting. So basically, I went there and take 3 courses, and I transferred the course credits back to CityU. And after that, I did my exchange at University of Maryland, the College Park, that's in USA. And okay, then after that semester, I went to City University London, as Dr. has mentioned, to do my research, and I published a paper during my stay at City University London. And here is the paper. So yeah, so in my year 4 in the summer, just after graduation.
Hey, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I think you can go a little bit deeper. So, for example, what's the paper about? I think you have an amazing. I think we have time, so let's you go a little bit slower so that we can enjoy and understand your nice achievement.
Yeah.
For example, what's the paper about? So we can know more about.
So I want to give an overview first.
I got it. Thank you. Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry
Yeah,
to interrupt.
So okay, let's talk about that paper first. So that opportunity was actually given by the CityU. So it's actually an internship, but I actually did a research at the City University of London in the summer at year 3. So I got this chance. My position was like a junior researcher. I was mentored by 2 professors at City University of London. So the project was about speaker recognition. So it is how to say that. So it is it's using machine learning to recognize the speakers, recognize you by your voice using machine learning techniques. And what the professor what they did is that they add the privacy, they add the cryptography on top of it. So the voice is like your information, and you want to encrypt it so that it cannot be stolen by someone else in the transcription, in the transmission. So that's why it's called privacy preserving speaker recognition. And the method is using the Gaussian mixture model. That's a machine learning model for the speaker recognition, and we apply the like cryptography, encryption, decryption on top of this GMM model here. I don't remember that there's a lot of equation there. That's mainly about this Gaussian mixture model. Gaussian mixture model is model for machine learning, and the features that the feature engineering for the voice, we use this MFCC, male frequency cepstron coefficients. Basically, we obtained these features from the voice, and we put the features into this model and use this model to predict like which voice belongs to which person. And then the rest is the like privacy preserving techniques that apply to this Gaussian mixture model. Yeah. So I don't want to make everybody bored with all those like equation details. So I spent the entire summer working on this project and actually continued with it as my final year project under the supervision of both professors from CityU, like Dr. Ray, and also professors from the City University London. And that's the like we published this paper actually got published like after my graduation, after I finished everything. It was published in the year 2018. That's like 2 years after my graduation. So the year 3. So year 3 spring, I got the exchange experience at the University of Maryland College Park. This is like a university-wide level of exchange experience. So yeah, so like the CityU have like a lot of opportunities, and got a lot of great exchange experience with a lot of wonderful universities. So I went to University of Maryland at College Park because it's like because this is after I spent one summer at University of Cambridge in UK, and I wanted to get some experience at the USA to see if like I like UK more or like USA better. So I want to have experience and exposure in both cultures, in both countries. That's why I went there. So I took about 4 courses in my major domain, and I learned quite a lot. Also know that it's quite different. The UK and the US, they are quite different countries. Yeah, the college experience are different. So the UK gives you feeling like a very formal, like very traditional, like those feelings, but the US is like more freedom, more free, those kind of atmosphere. And yeah, before that, I was in United Kingdom for the Pembroke Kings program. Pembroke Kings program, as I mentioned, it is a summer program. It is in the University of Cambridge, and all the students who were in this program are from like very good universities, like University of Harvard or Yale. So I went there and I took 3 courses in this summer, and because like I took too many engineering and STEM field courses, like mathematics, engineering courses. So I was in UK. I took Shakespeare and literature courses. So just to get something different. What I realized that after that experience is that like I don't have a brain for the literature or for the other human, or those courses. Like it's really. I really try hard to read those Shakespeare or the plays that he wrote. It wasn't for me. That's what I learned. Yeah. So when I was in year 4 summer, I interned at our Hong Kong association. That was an opportunity that's given by Dr. Ray. So this is the first office work that I did, and I basically was collecting resources and collecting information for an exhibition. That's a very rewarding experience, in my opinion, because it's like, as I mentioned, it's like a first office experience. I never have this experience before, and I finally know how it was like to work in an office, and I got a lot of help from people. Yes. Dr. Lee, do you have questions?
Actually, not a question, but I think you can highlight your work in our Hong Kong Foundation. At that time, you were engaged with this InnoTech info, right? I think it's Chong Fo Bo La, yeah, in Chinese. It's a major like a science and technology event, and May is doing amazingly good work in preparing this important event. As a student, she is able to like connect with national innovation like a projects, and I think this is quite an extraordinary experience, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, maybe you can share a bit more. What is your daily work there as a university student, final year student? I think that was the summer before you go to US, right?
Yeah, it was summer, so I was supposed to like enjoy it, but like I got experience, and I was very happy about that. So so my daily job is about to gather information, to read information like about those very important like national level projects like the high-speed trains and those spaceship like China like spaceship like those moon landing, those projects. So I got opportunity to really read through those projects and to figure out how it went, and then to paraphrase them in my own language, and so that people in exhibition can like to know all those projects, because I know them, like I can read those projects easily because I have a background in engineering. But the people in the exhibition, they're like normal people. They don't have a background in those engineering or science. Moon landing or high-speed trains, they are very cool projects, but how cool it is, and we don't want to provide them with all the like scientific information. That's why it's so cool. It's because it's cheap, because like scientifically speaking, or because in engineering, that's how significant it is. I want to like my job is to present all those information in like a normal day like language that people can understand. This is like this provides me with opportunity to really understand those like perfect projects, because like before that like I got all those information from like the news that like as everybody else.
Right. You mentioned about like undergraduate training that empower you to understand this technology information. So can you describe a little bit more, like in your undergraduate study, how does this transformation occur through course activity or assignment or interaction with professor or student? How does it look like? And I think as a university student, even they're studying EE, they need to know this kind of skills, right? And even high school student or parent, they may want to better prepare their children to go into this area. I think this is important.
Yeah, so CityU, they have like very good like foundation courses, like the circuits courses or like programming courses. So this is like when you want to understand engineering, you want to understand like those very good like super important projects. Those are the foundation, the basic knowledge that you need to know. So like of course there are like a lot of things in high-speed trains that I don't know, that like is impossible for me to understand because they're like very high level. But with the foundation knowledge, with those other courses and assignments that I took in CityU, they provide me is a good base. So it's like I can understand like from a high level that like I understand why it works and how it works like in a general big picture. And then it's like with that information, then I can understand like how it moves from like step 1 to step 2 and why it is important, why certain decisions we're making at a certain point. Yeah. So yeah, that's what CityU provide me. So it's like, so the all the courses in the bachelor's, they are like the foundation knowledge in the engineering or in the major, because like when you're talking about high level knowledge, you always have like master programs or PhD programs. But CityU provides a very like good foundation knowledges, and with it that you can like easily, like not that easy, you can start to learn or start to grasp like the high level knowledge easily.
Right. You went to so many different universities, right, in the world.
Yes.
And how do you compare your experience among these universities? They must have some very unique or some very pleasant, or maybe it's not that pleasant experience. So how do you compare your education like hops in different locations? Maybe you can share a bit more with us, please.
So like first is a comparison between the CityU and all the other universities. So CityU is like still in Asia, so it's like all the other university in China, or like from my high school experience, like the schools in China. So like in the classroom, it's mostly quiet. Like you don't see a lot of people like really raising hand to ask questions and answer questions in a very motivated way. But in the universities, like in Western countries, they really highlight experience that a very interactive experience that you need to raise your hand to ask questions, to answer questions. They usually debate in the classroom. So when I was in UK in the Pembroke King's program, I did my class in Shakespeare, and the class is not actually a class like when the teacher is standing there to teach knowledge. Is actually a debate, a discussion between the teacher and the students. Students will will have their arguments, and they back their arguments with all the resources, with all the knowledge information they can find in the books. And the teacher will always discuss, will talk to students and guide them in the direction. So that's the difference. So the difference that in CityU we tend to just pass the knowledge around, but like in the Pembroke King's program, it's more like an interactive experience. But I think it's probably also because like this Pembroke King's program is a summer program. It's not like like people have a degree level a program. It's a summer program, so it's like more freestyle. So while I was in the University of Maryland College Park, it is in a spring semester. It's like a normal semester. I study with all the other students. So it's like it also has like a lot of questions and answers, but it also has like a lot of like the teachers just lecturing there, like different teachers, different styles. So some teachers just like to stand there and just to write all the knowledge on the blackboard and pass on the knowledge. And yeah, so while I was in University of Maryland, I realized that there are like a lot of different like programs that people can engage. So I was in CityU, I think most of my focus was more on the like those academic programs, like the exchange experience, or those research experience, like how can I get internship. But like in the University of Maryland, that I found that like there are a lot of like activities, like those activities organized by the students, like those clubs. They are like very, very popular among students as well. And for City University London, so I went there in summer, so it's a summer experience, like not a normal semester. There weren't many students there, and it provided me with a first like lab experience. Is that like working in a lab that was supervised by 2 professors. So I cannot compare that with CityU because I didn't have that experience at CityU. So basically what I did is like I went to the lab every day from 9 o'clock in the morning to 5 p.m. in the evening. I just sitting there reading other papers and try to do research. It is my first official research experience, and And it's also the first time that I was really trying to read papers, like trying to read a lot of papers. It was very hard for me at the very beginning, like because the papers. The main thing about papers, they're trying to talk a lot, like all their experiments, like all the knowledge, all the contributions, all the new things that they find in a limited page. So it's a very academic, it's very professional language, and it really put a lot of knowledge in those 10 pages like papers. And I was only a undergraduate then. There are a lot of things that I didn't understand at that time. So it usually took me a week to fully understand paper. I need to understand a lot of other knowledges that they mentioned in one sentence they use this method, and I have no idea what this method is, and I have to spend an entire morning researching on this method, what exactly it is. Yeah.
You mentioned about high school and then before you enter university. We are mostly student or parent in Hong Kong. So tell us more about your a high school education, please. For example, what kind of subject you study, and so some kind of information. I think it would be also useful for us to know. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So for high school, I was from Shanghai, so I did my high school in Shanghai, and yeah, it's I took all the courses like Chinese, mathematics, English, the physics, chemistry, biology, geography. It's all the courses. It's normal. It's normal. It's like a normal high school in China. I took all the courses I'm supposed to take. It's not. It's not like you have a choice of you want to take something. You want to take a course. You don't want to take a course. It's mostly likely you have to take a course. So in my final year, in my last year in my high school, I decided to take physics because Shanghai at that time the college entrance examination is a bit different from other provinces in China. Other provinces that you took either the engineering, the STEM, like the science engineering, or you took those arts humanities ones. For the science engineering, you need to study the biology, chemistry, and physics for the college entrance examination. But for the arts humanities, that part you need to study the geography. Some I forgot because I wasn't paying attention to that. But in Shanghai, so you in the college entrance examination, you only take in the year 2000, in the year of 2012, you only take Chinese, mathematics, English, and +1. I take physics, so I have 4 courses in my last year in high school.
So sounds like science and fee can buy is also one of the high or essential priority for student in Shanghai, right? So is it most of you guys actually need to take this kind of subject, and how do you see this kind of a science foundation help you with your university study and also a current PhD study? So how essential, how important in your perspective? Thank you.
Yeah, so science, engineering, those courses are very important, I think, because if you took physics, chemistry, biology, those science engineering courses for your college entrance examination, that then when you are finally at universities in China, that you can pick a lot of more majors. You can take those science engineering, math or engineering majors. You can also take the arts and humanities, social sciences majors as well. However, if you only took those geography or some other not science or engineering courses as your college entrance examination, then when you're at university, then you cannot pick those math majors or engineering majors. So choosing science engineering is more important because you have more options to choose majors in the university. Yeah, that's why it's so important. How it prepares me, for the university is that when I entered CityU, I realized that students in Hong Kong, they don't have to take physics or chemistry or biology. They don't have to take it. So sometimes they just have like I can say like almost no knowledge in this area, because when I took the physics in my first year in CityU, the course started with Newton's law. Like Newton's law is like the foundation of all the physical series. I took that in my high school already. And but here in the university, I started Newton's law. That means that a lot of students, they never took physics in their high school. The same thing can be said for for biology. So like the first year in CityU for me is easy in a sense, is that I understand and know a lot of knowledge, like especially the physics and the biology. I took the Chinese version already in China, so my main struggle is to try to remember all the words, especially biology, those words in English. And those this mathematics and physics, those courses are very important, because it's also important like for me for now for my research. For my research in the STEM area, like those mathematics, engineering courses are very important, because they're also the foundation. Yeah.
Cool. So your in your high school, those subjects are mainly in Chinese. Is that what you're saying? In China, even in Shanghai?
Yes. So all the courses except English, everything's taught in Chinese.
I see.
So
Yeah.
so I learned a Chinese version of everything. Now I just need to relearn it in English. But I didn't learn the calculus part of math in Shanghai. So the math course was new to me, but I know that in some other provinces in China that they taught calculus in their high school as well. So yeah, I guess for some mainland students, the year one was quite easy for them.
And I think also apply to maybe the Indian student, because in university there are lots of students from overseas. Maybe May, you can describe how is your international student experience in CTU, or even now in US, in UT Austin. Do you see a lot of students from Asia, for example, or in CTU? Do you see a lot of students outside Hong Kong? Can you describe your experience with people here? Thank you.
Yeah, so in CityU, I saw a lot of students, like mainly Indian students, as international students. So yeah, there are a lot of yeah. So yeah, I think I just more aware that like there are a lot of Indian students in the CityU campus, and in here in the United States, especially in the CS, computer science, or like ECE, electrical and the computer engineering majors, there are many Chinese students and Indian students. So it's like it's East Asian looking students like Chinese, then Koreans, then I saw students from Taiwan, and very few Japanese students. Then the rest is Indian students, and also saw Iranian students as well, and some students from some European countries as well.
Right. I guess you still have some slide. Maybe you can finish it, and I keep on asking you questions. I see the audience here. They are also preparing some question for you. Yeah, I have tons of questions for you. Thank you, May.
So yeah. Okay. So what I learned is that okay, I have a misspelling here. It's like work hard. So first, I need to work hard. I got all those opportunities because like I have a high GPA. Otherwise, like you apply for those programs, they probably won't accept you. So work hard. That's the first. Maintain a high GPA. That's how you get all your opportunities. The second one is open to opportunities. You can see that like I'm very open to opportunities. I went to UK, US. I went to everywhere. I'm also have a Taekwondo experience. I also serve as a CTUE ambassador. There are also a lot of things that I didn't mention there. Like I did volunteer work like in the CTU empowerment project for 2 years, and I also I also like there's like remember there's an internal website inside CityU that you can apply to the some like a CityU like job, CityU work, like you can apply to work with a professor, like some departments have some projects and they need students to apply there. I remember that like I did that twice. Once was that with a creative media professor, and the other time was a computer science lab. So I was like open to a lot of opportunities because for me that there's no such thing as a failure. There's only success or learning. And also the third takeaway is that be selective. So like I have so many opportunities, but I cannot be good at each one of them. Like I have limited time. I need to maintain my GPA, so I cannot like spend so much time like elsewhere. So you need to be. So I need to be selective. I focus and I try not to overwhelm myself because I can't just be like perfect at like each and everything that I did. So after that, like I went to Georgia Tech. So I went to Georgia Tech. So I got into programs like in computer science. So program Master of Science in Computer Science. And what I learned immediately is that the US is a different culture. It's like I went to the University of Maryland before in my undergraduate, but like it was only for one semester. So I think I was mostly very relaxing in a way. But like now I have like a degree in the United States. I took everything very seriously and I realized that this is a different culture. So while I was in CityU that I got this opportunities, usually that I have a high GPA. I applied that and I got that. But in the United States, it's way different. If you want something, you have to like really to communicate, to talk to people, and then that's how you get opportunities. So the best way in the United States to get an internship is go to the career fair that's being organized by university. So in the career fair that you really need to talk to people, you need to highlight experience, like why you are a perfect candidate, and like not everyone else in the line. So you need to really promote yourself. That was different. So my first day at the career fair was total failure. I was just standing there. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. I know that I want this opportunity bad. I want to have an internship experience, but I just don't know how to say it, how to convey that like I'm the right candidate for them, that I'm the person they're looking for. So that was the thing that I didn't learn that from CityU. I learned that in the US. Like I learned that through so many like career fairs. So like on the second day or third day of the career fair, I realized I finally know how to talk about it. Basically, I just repeating myself to one recruiter and another again and again with similar stories. And also in Georgia Tech, and so I think one thing that like most the parents, like most students worry about is the expense. So learning overseas can be very expensive. I remember like one semester you can spend about like 20. It's like it's between 10,000 US dollars or 20,000 US dollars. Depends on your program, depends on the school. So all those things is that you actually got like a lot of opportunities after you get there. So I paid for my first semester tuition fee. That's about 17,000 US dollars for one semester. And then I work hard and I got a graduate teaching assistant position with one professor. So I was like, I was a teaching assistant for the graduate level artificial intelligence course. So, and from there, I didn't need to pay any tuition fees. So I waived my tuition fee and gave me about $600 every month as a salary. That was a like very big savings for my family. At the same time, I also want to do some research experience because usually like after you got a master degree in the United States, you either go to work directly or you just further your study as a PhD. So I don't know. Actually, at that time, I didn't know what I want. I didn't know what I want. I want to do continue to research, or I just want to start to earn money. So that's why like I have both research experience, also have internship internship industry experience. So I did the research at human activity recognition. So I got this opportunity. It's also because like I tried to talk to this professor. So like it's not like you have a central place that you can apply. You have to talk to a professor. So I identified that a few professors that I saw that their research that I'm interested in, and I'm trying to send them emails. And most of them, they did not reply my emails. They're so busy, they just don't reply. They probably didn't even read my emails. So I finally got enough courage just to stand outside one of the professors stand outside professor office. I just really try to convey that I want to work with him. And yeah, and so I got the research experience of working with the professor there. At the same time, like I was trying to apply for an internship because I want to industry experience because it's like I want to know it. I want to know, like, do I really like it? Do I really like industry? Do I really like? So that's why I applied. So I applied and got an internship at Amazon. I was working as a software engineer intern in the department called Search User Experience. So from there, like I have two key learnings from there. Is that first is learn to be curious, second dive deep. So I think like the first time I was in Amazon, I was introvert, I was shy, like I was worried about my English. So I don't know like how to talk. It's like sometimes when people try to explain something to me, there's something that I didn't understand. But I was too shy that like I don't want to keep asking them. It's like for the second or third time they didn't understand my question. I was like, fine, I probably just need to figure out on my own. So that's one of the feedback that was given by my supervisor. They're like, I'm not that curious. My feeling was like, oh, trying to talk, but probably just you didn't get it. Then I got shy. Like I try to avoid, just keep asking questions. I just don't want to treat my colleagues, my supervisors at Google and ask them all the questions. I want to do research and then ask them questions. Yeah. But like, but you know that if there's really something that you don't understand, you really need to be curious, because it's important, because you need to make them know that you're interested in the project, you're interested in the company, you're interested in the department, that you're very passionate about them. You have to ask them questions. The second feedback given by my supervisor is that they say that I didn't dive deep. I think at that time is that, in Amazon, they have so many engineers, and of course, they have many engineers, and they have like a lot of engineers writing a lot of code already. So sometimes like if I have to dive deep, there's like a lot of layers. I have to understand the entire systems, like Amazon, like all the other big companies, they have their internal systems, like it's only their system. They have their own Wikipedia, they have own like GitHub. Everything is internal, and a lot of engineers spend a lot of time to build it. And if I have to dive deep to be curious, ask many questions, it's just like sometimes it can be endless. But like as my supervisor said, that sometimes it's endless, sometimes it seems that it's impossible to grasp everything at the same time. It doesn't mean that I still need to have an effort there and should dive deep to be curious and ask questions. Yeah. Other questions around here?
Yeah, very impressive. I just sent out a link about the Amazon user experience, comparing the web experience, UX experience from YouTube, Amazon, and Facebook. So your duty in the team is to perform similar kind of analysis to improve the user experience, or what maybe you can be a little more specific so that our audience here can know more about your like summer internship in Amazon. Thank you.
So my project, so I actually have two projects. Summer internships is usually 12 weeks. And you have the first 2 weeks as an onboarding. As I mentioned, they have their internal Wikipedia, they have their internal GitHub, they have everything internal. You need to spend time to learn everything, to learn everything. That's what it's called. It's called onboarding. You need to get familiar with the tools they use. After that, you have a manager, they have a mentor. And I have a small project. I forgot what it's about, but I remember that the main project I have about is it's like a recommendation. You know, when you're on Amazon, that you have this like people buy this product, they also buy this one. People who view this product, they also view this one. So it's like a recommendation algorithm based on the past purchase history or the viewing history. So my project was to create a new people recommendation algorithm for people.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah. Any other questions from our audience? Yeah, because we are running out of time. We only have 20 more minutes remaining. And I believe May is now with Georgia Tech, and we want to know more about her journey in Apple and also currently in UT Austin, Texas. So please go ahead, May. Yeah, we'd love to learn more from you. Yeah, there's a question, student, a member asking me that would like to raise to you. Is it easy to get the scholarship from CityU or those Western university for further study? So what's your opinion on that?
For CityU has a lot of scholarships. So when I entered the CityU, I got this mainland student scholarship that covered half of my tuition fee. And then in my third year, I got this government scholarship that overall it covered 80% of my tuition fee. Then for my UK, the Pembroke experience, the CityU actually has a scholarship of that. It didn't cover everything. It covered most of the living expenses, but I still need to pay for the airfare myself. For the exchange, the CityU has exchange scholarship. It also it's about enough to cover the housing expenses. And the other time that I was in City University London, the City University also has a scholarship. So basically, so for those exchange, those experience, basically just that you got this exchange experience, and then you have this scholarship. It's almost like that. It's basic, yeah. But for the government scholarship, then you need to apply. Then you need to go through the interview. For the Western country, for the scholarship, so the scholarship opportunities are rare. They're the scholarships are mainly for their own local students, for American students, and some specific scholarship there for students. You need to demonstrate that you're from low-income families or you from some minorities. But for us Chinese, we are not minorities in United States anymore. And they also in Texas, they have a lot of scholarship for the Mexico Latino students as well. So really, you can get a scholarship from university, from U.S. university, or from U.S. governments to further your study in the United States. No, usually don't get that. For me, it's the best chance of you getting some money, financial support from it's called TORA. TA is this teaching assistant. Teaching assistant is that it's basically you lead a discussion, or you grade those grade assignments, or you make assignments, or you make finals, you make midterms, just help the professors. You get it because you are, how to say that, because you took the course, and you need to really talk to that professor to express how you like the course to be close to the professor, and make him aware that you can be a potential good teacher assistant for a course. You should need to be very good at the course. But it doesn't always work. It's because the professor, they usually have their own PhD students. They want to have their own PhD students as the teaching assistant. So if you want to get a TA-ship, so your best chance is for those courses that they're looking for a lot of teaching assistants. Then if they are only 20 students or 30 students in that class, they're only looking for 1 or 2 TAs, and usually the professor gave it to his own PhD students. You need to go to the large classes, then the class will probably have 5 or 6 TAs. And also like Georgia Tech, like I was lucky at that time because they have this online master program, so that you can get a master degree online, and they have like 1,000 students in the online class, and then in that artificial intelligence courses, we have 14 TAs. That's how I got my opportunity. The second thing is called the research assistant, it's called RA. That's like you work with a professor, really work with professor, and professor saying that he or she will want to support you, so he or she pays you to do the research in his lab. So to do this, you usually need to work for free with a professor for 1 semester, or sometimes maybe 2, to get it. Dr. Ray, you are muted.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm going to share a bit more on this TA and also RA salary, so that student and also parent will have a better idea about how the student can go beyond like a current education in Hong Kong. Or we may have some student here, they want to go like further study in university in the United States. So I think these are all important information. Yeah, we have a question from Mr. Lau. He's a teacher in Hong Kong. Any suggestion for secondary school students in Hong Kong? What do you think they should prepare if they want to pursue in this field as a secondary school student and teacher perspective, in your opinion?
Pursue the field. You mean to pursue the field of computer science, artificial
Engineering, yeah, engineering, yeah. This kind of STEM field, you feel like this is a very promising field. Do you agree that? And if yes, how can we better prepare that you will have a background in Shanghai, in Hong Kong, and you went to UK, and now you've been in Georgia, and now in Texas. So you've been moving around the world. What's your opinion in that particular like the technology domain? So how can we better prepare as a high school student? Thank you.
high school student? So, well, that was like, I guess like students in Hong Kong, they have more freedom because you can choose courses to take, and basically in mainland, when I was a high school student, that I didn't have that many choices, like what I want to learn, like how to better prepare. Like college entrance examination is the thing over there that I have to conquer. So for now, like if you have time, extra time, that then let's see. So currently, if you want to further study in the United States, if you want to find a job here, you need to focus on 2 majors. First one is computer science. Like the software engineering, that's the one that have the most job opportunities. It's easy to find job. The second one is the EE, that's like electrical computer engineering. So that's like focus on the hardware part. So those 2 majors are the easiest one to get job. Otherwise, if you learn some other, if you pursue some other majors, it's also is likely to get job, but like it's not that easy. So if you really want to have a life, to have a job, further studies in the United States, to CS or EE is your best option. And how to prepare is that you need to know like what you like, right? So it's like, for me, it's like if I have to do something that I don't like could work on it every day, that's going to kill me. So no things like in engineering, in CS or in EE, like what exactly do you want? Like do you enjoy to writing apps, or do you like writing web pages, or do you like me? I like to handle data. I like to find patterns in data. That's where my passion lies. That's what I feel happy about. So it will be easier that you know like what you like, that will make your choices in the future easier. Another thing is that in CES or EE that you need to the programming. The programming is very important. So if you want to get early start and just to participate in more like programming exercises. And I think for me, the best way to learn programming is to do small projects. You do not like learn how to program by reading that's like the Python or like Java menu. You only learn how to program is like when you have a project at hand and you want to achieve something, use this programming. Another thing is that if you're in the United States or in the Western countries, the language. So I think the Hong Kong really prepares my English well. I know that a lot of Chinese students from mainland China realize that they didn't understand what the teacher was talking about inside class. Because in Hong Kong, you have you have advantage that like most professors here, they understand the Cantonese, they understand the Chinese, so that if you really have something that you don't understand, you go to them after class, they can explain to you that in a language you understand. But in the United States, no, you don't get a chance like that. So like Hong Kong for me, it's just like it's a good option for me, is that I really have like a transition period for me to get used to learn everything English. Yeah, so if you want to better prepare in the future in the United States or other countries, do language, because like learning to, because the TOEFL, the test, and then really learn something in English is a very different experience. Like you can conduct like normal daily conversations easily, but it's different from like you listening there in a lecture for a day, or like trying to understand all the assignment questions, to read all the reading and writings in English, to talk to your classmates in English, like in the group project. So that's different.
Very cool. Yeah, I have two important question for you. Yeah, just to take a short break here. So first question is you mentioned that CS has the most job opportunity, and obviously now you are in like electrical and computer engineering department, and you get your first degree in EE. And obviously, student or parent teacher may want to ask. So if in front of us we have a EE and CS, which way should we go? What's your opinion on that? And what are the differences in your opinion? That's my question for you. Thank you.
It's like everybody's different. I cannot like it's like they are both very good opportunities. Like they can help you to get a job in the United States, but in terms of like which one to pick, that depends on the person himself. Like what is, because like it's not like a project you did for a semester. That's like sometimes you need to work on this job for your life. It's like at least you don't want to hate this thing. It's like if you really hate CS, then why CS, right? So like my suggestion that like whatever, like they are very good opportunities, and
they are different. Yeah. So try to know what they are before you make your own choice. That would be Yao's, May's suggestion. My second question, you mentioned that you have a very good transition period in Hong Kong before you hop over to United States. You get this kind of English learning environment with a nice transition with Chinese, right? So in your opinion, you also talk about coding, right? Coding, and now this is like a EE webinar, supported by like out of code. We want to promote everybody can code in Hong Kong. This is a major mission. And is a little bit far. Is a lot easy to achieve. But in your own opinion, that you can see in China, what is the portion of people? I mean, at least in the high school sector, how many of them, in your opinion, they actually know how to code from your experience? Maybe you can share a bit more with us so that we can know the like a global perspective, not just China, but also in US. So what do you see this kind of movement happening around the world? Thank you.
So in China, it's actually different. It's different from region to region, city to city, high school to high school. So in my high school, we have a computer science class in my high school, and I learned the visual basics when I was in high school. In fact, like starting from the elementary school, then I had get exposure to this coding environment. I remember like when I was in elementary school, that was in the year of 2000, and we have computer classes, and in one of the classes there is a, I need to write program. There's like a turtle. Then you need to use a turtle to draw something. That's like the first program experience that I have. I think it's called logo or something. It's like first, but of course it's different because I think the Shanghai is a very developed region, and I attended a very good high schools, elementary schools while I was in Shanghai. So that's why I get exposure. But I know that people in some other like regions, not so developed regions, they don't have this exposure. They probably don't have computer classes. So it's different. But if you're competing with the top tier students from mainland China, yes, they know. Like in my high school, they know. Like in some other very good high schools in Shanghai, they also know how to program, at least like Visual Basic in my experience. For other countries, like for Americans, so if they So like if they're really interested, some students, they develop their interest in computer science and coding very early. So they started coding very early. I think in the US it's more like, I don't know about their course. I think it's more about like an individual difference. Some people, they show their talent in the computer science, they spend more time in it in their like after schools. Yeah.
Thank you, May. Yeah, due to the time, we only have 4 more minutes. So maybe I hope you can let us know your key point in the remaining slide, and then I can spare maybe 1 minute to do the quick wrap up. We really appreciate, a lot of nice questions from our audience. And we also see Eden, who are joining like a 40 to 50 coding lesson with us. Welcome, Eden, again. Yeah, May, please go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to mention that like I can stay here for another 10 minutes also to answer the questions. This slide is very easy. This is UT Austin in Texas, and yeah, we just had 1 million COVID cases. I'm doing research in a lab called Daily Activity Lab. It is actually a lab. It is an interdisciplinary research lab that bridges computer science, engineering, development psychology, measure the behavior that for maternal and child mental health and well-being. So when my professor, she founded this lab, so we studied the transmission of the mental health crisis from the mother to the infant. So it's like when the mother is like suffering from those mental health crises, like after giving birth, we call it postpartum depression, then she's probably likely to ignore the cries. When the baby cries, she probably ignores that. She's less likely to hold the baby. So, and thus this like mental health crisis is transmitting from the mother to the infant, and like this is very important area, of course, and usually those researchers are done by the psychologists and using methods like direct observation or done in the hospitals. So what we are doing in the lab is that we are trying to use the sensors, different sensors, to monitor their daily activities, because what's happening in an infant's life is not happening in the hospital or elsewhere. It's mainly happening at home. It's happening it's happening in the action at home. So yeah, that's why I'm working. That's my lab, and so sensors and collect sensor data, and I build models from those sensor data. And so there is this one paper that I published. It is about the detected infant holding using wearable sensing. So we put the sensors on both mother and infant and detect automatic infant holding. It's slightly different from like the research in the areas, because usually in the wearable computing, usually you have those like Apple Watch or Fitbit. You do this human activity recognition like for one person, but here it's like it's in a home that you are detecting the activities between multiple people. Yeah, and that's mainly. And I also recently submitted a paper based. It's on automatically detect infant crying in the home environment. It is difficult. It's because like most the studies in the area, they monitor infant cries mainly for like at night, like monitor infant crying at night so that the parents can get idea. But the most crying, like they didn't monitor the crying in the day. It's really hard because you have a lot of like chaos at home. You have noises from other siblings. You have noises from home, from outside. That's why it is hard. And yeah, another thing is like it mentioned that I just finished an internship with Apple this summer. It's different. It's like it's data science internship. This is better. It's because like I love data. It's like I got the idea from Amazon is that I really don't like software engineering. I like data more. That's a main reason that why I keep studying with my PhD. Then I got the data science internship at Apple, and my internship with Apple is in the ads platform engineering. It is so you know that when you are in App Store, when you are searching for an app to download, there is a advertisement on the top. So there are a lot of algorithms behind this algorithm, and for this advertisement to show up there, the companies, they need to bid on different keywords. Like the Starbucks, they can bid on Starbucks. So when the customer does search for the Starbucks in the App Store, search for this app, the Starbucks advertisement can appear on the top. But they can also bid on some other like keywords like Dunkin' Donuts. There's like a competing coffee shop. So when people search for Dunkin' Donuts, the Starbucks as the advertisement will show on the top. So that's what so my project is related to that. Yeah.
Thank you very much, May. Yeah, that was amazingly good sharing. I know we have members just join us, and most of the members who actually stay from the beginning until now. And let me share my screen here. And first of all, I would like all members here, if you enjoy May's sharing, please type OK or clap your hand so that we really let May know that we learn a lot from her. Yeah, she's doing her best as a EE graduate. Today, she shared her journey from high school, university in Hong Kong, and also in US and also in UK. And just a heads up, you can always go back online in our YouTube channel and can enjoy the whole video playback again with your friends or your classmates. Do not miss all this important sharing. And also coming up next, this coming Wednesday night, we have another high school teacher in Hong Kong. So you can choose to become a PhD student, or you can choose to become a STEM educator in Hong Kong, or even you can become other professional expertise in your future. The future is in your hand, so please start your journey and know what is available for you. And I learned that May is willing to stay behind maybe for 5 to 10 minutes. If any one of you have any further questions, please feel free to ask. Yeah, and also as mentioned earlier, today we don't have a coding lesson today. So because we're going to take a break, and then we're going to have the Python workshop later on. So feel free to ask your questions. Yeah. Thank you. I guess they are very excited about your sharing today. And since I believe May is like a Saturday evening now, so we shouldn't bother her for too long. And once again, we wish her continued success in her career in this kind of amazing research related to children. And I think these are all exciting areas. So we hope that you all enjoy it and do not miss the upcoming event. Have a good Sunday, everybody. Bye bye, May. 谢谢你。